Oh shit. Okay, there guys, so I've been checking out something that made me laugh terribly hard. Here it is. I'm gonna read it out loud for you guys to enjoy. Okay, there we go. I just wanted to get the thing straight. Okay, so this is a review of the Haribo sugar-free gummy bears. I didn't expect to see that. I didn't know this product was that. I went on a video on YouTube and people talked about this on well, it's a thing about bizarre Amazon product and things. Anyway, so let me start reading. Oh man. Wait, no, actually I'll take a voice especially for that. Oh man. Words cannot express what happened to me after eating these. The gummy bear cleans. If you are someone that can tolerate the sugar substitute, enjoy. If you are like the dozens of people that tried my order, run. Ugh, sorry. First of all, for taste, I would rate these a 5. So good, soft, true to taste fruit flavors like the sugar variety. I was a happy camper. But, or should I say, not long after eating about 20 of these, all hell broke loose. I had a gastrointestinal experience like nothing I've ever imagined. Gramps, sweating, bloating, beyond my worst nightmare. I have a food poisoning from some bad shellfish. from some from some bad shellfish, and that was almost like a skip in a bar compared to that what was going on inside me. Then came the flatulence. Evans to Murgatroyd. The sound like trumpets calling the demons back to hell. The stench like 1,000 rotten corpses vomited. So I couldn't stand to stay in one room for fear of... Ah, God, my voice keeps going back to the normal one because I'm holding my laugh. I couldn't stand to stay in one room for fear of succumbing to my own odors. Odors, I don't know. But wait, there's more. What came out of me felt like someone tried to funnel Niagara Falls through a coffee straw. I... Give me a second. I can't. I swear my sphincter were screaming. It felt like my delicate starfish was was a gaping maw projectile vomiting a torrential flood of toxic waste. The 100% liquid is killing me. 100% liquid. Flammable liquid. Napalm. It was actually a bit humorous for a nanosecond, as it was just beyond anything I could imagine possible, and it went on for hours. I felt violated when it was over, which I think might have been sometime in the early morning of the next day. There was stuff coming out of me that I hid already in 2005. Please kill me. I had 5 pounds of those innocent-looking, delicious-tasting bears. So I told a friend about what happened to me, thinking it had to be some type of sensitivity I had to the sugar substitute. And in spite of my warning and graphic descriptions, she decided to take her chance and take them off my hands. Silly woman. All of the same for her, and a phone call from her while on the toilet. Because you kinda end up living in a bathroom for a spell. Telling me she really wished she would have listened. I think she was crying. Her sister was skeptical and suspected that we were exaggerating. She took them to work since there was still 99% of a 5-pound bag left. She works for a construction company where they're builders, roofers, house painters, landscapers, I don't know how you say that word, by the way. Lots of people who generally have limited access to toilets on a given day. I can't imagine where all of those poor man and woman poop that day. I keep envisioning men on roofs crossing their leg and trying to decide if they can make it down the ladder or if they should just jump. If you order these, best luck to you. And please don't post a video or review during the aftershocks. When I ordered these, the warning and disclaimer and legalese were not posted. I'm not a moron. Also, not sure why so many people assume I'm a man. I am a woman. We poop too. Of course, our poop sparkles and smells like a walk in a meadow of wildflower. Thanks for all the great comments. I've been enjoying reading them, and so glad that the horror show I experienced from snacking on these has at least made some people smile. Now, let's just read the comments. Oh, best product review ever. One of the best written and most amorous products review on Amazon. Thanks, and I won't be buying these. Wait, actually, let me check the other comments. Well, let me just get that a little smaller again. I don't know if I can collapse the comments or if I just messed up. Okay, yeah, I'm stuck on the... Okay, yeah. Back behind. Okay, there we go. Oh, that one looks good. I'm pretty sure Andrea, I'll call her, agreed to have dinner at my apartment only because I always spoke to her using nothing but my 2 years of high school German. Her English was perfect, probably better than mine, but the fact that I could only ask her direction to the Autobahn or inquire about the health of her non-existent Aunt Melia seemed to make me appealing to her in a sweet and non-threatening way. My intentions, however, were considerably less childlike, which is why the shop that night was done at one of those upscale groceries with an international flair. Moules Marinières is as much of a penny peeler as anything I can cook, and isn't that hard to pull off, but still. I was busy tracking the recipe in my head when I found myself in the sweets hazel. And that, to my great chagrin, is why I didn't immediately notice the difference between Haribo normal gummy bears, which are designed for human enjoyment, and Haribo sugarless gummy bears, which are designed for use in maximum security prison. That's a way to put it. I shan't make that mistake again. Not as you can spell shan't without shat. Prior to entry as a rival, I sat in my living room creating a playlist of a make-out music and nervously banging on the gummy bears I had placed in a decorative bowl because I am fancy. The doorbell rang, and within minutes we were standing in the kitchen, drinking beers, and both of us probably worrying that we were about to exhaust my ability to communicate in our native tongue. But soon that will be the least of my worries. In the middle of trying to ask Andrea if she likes to dance to young people's music, I felt a flutter in my midsection. Let me just drink because that way of talking hurts my voice. Okay, sorry. Where was I at? So loud it threatened to drone out my own voice. Maybe it was because I was mentally refreshing my language lessons, but it suddenly struck me how much pre-diarrheal grumbling sounds like German words. And okay, was the next thing uttered by my rapidly clenching stomach. Appropriately, Andrea looked up in response. "Sind Sie coffee machine?" she asked. "Am I making coffee?" I thought I must have mistranslated her at first, and finally I realized that yes, the loud ominous gurgling coming out from my gut could easily be mistaken for the percolating of some bachelor's crappy coffee maker. It's remarkable how quickly one knows that one is about to have a traumatic potty-making experience. Maybe that's the body way of buying you the precious seconds you need. I was already calculating the number of steps to the bathrooms, speculating on whether I would have time to lift the lid to the toilet, when my own voice cried out loudly in my head, She's going to hear everything. Thanks to a acoustical idiosyncrasy in my building, the hallway outside the bathroom works as an amplifier, pointed straight in my living room / kitchen. So that somehow even the gentlest tinkle sounds like I'm pouring lemonade out of a bucket. With only half an idea of what I was doing, I grabbed Andrea's hand and pulled her roughly down onto my sofa. I must have looked like a madman as I booted up my iTunes player, exploding the giant headphones I had just bought to keep me looking young and hip, and clamping them down on her ear. The sweat forming on my brows and upper lip couldn't have helped. In response to her, I kept shouting, "You'll love this, you'll love this." I spun her around so she was looking out the window. My plan was that she'd be so distracted by the modest fourth floor view that it would allow me to pull my pants off while I sprint. Okay, that was getting kind of weird when I saw pull my pants off. While I sprinted down the hall, silently singing the praises of the noise reducing quality of my new headphones. The story will be reprinted in its entirety as a 5-star review on the Sony Beats audio Amazon page. As I slammed the bathroom door shut, already half naked, it occurred to me that I had not been shooting "You'll love this" at Andrea. I don't even know how to say that in German. In my desperation, I had been saying "Ich liebe dich," repeatedly professing my love for her in a shaky and frantic voice. But maybe that was a good thing, because as I threw myself at the toilet, I figured the best I could hope for is that she will be so creeped out that she will sneak out of the apartment, blissfully unaware of the carnage taking place in the next room. What can I say about the ensuing white-knuckle pole movement that hasn't been expressed in other reviews on this page? I'm pretty sure I haven't seen the adjective Kafkaesque used anywhere else. By the way, of Act 1 of this private little torture porn movie, I was confessing to every unsolved crime in history, praying I will stumble upon the one that will satisfy my invisible captors. Quickly I realized that I had more than Andrea's sense of sound to worry about. Was she to get even the faintest whiff of the weapon's great sleaze that my anus was angrily shouting into the porcelain? I would have had to change my name and move to another city. And so I flushed, and flushed, and flushed, and flushed, and then I flushed and nothing happened. I've never looked down into a broken toilet with more horror in my entire life, as I once stopped up George Clooney's Crapper, a true story for another time. I reached for the plunger, but my hand froze and my heart seized when I saw it on the floor, broken in two and covered in what looks like teeth marks. Apparently I assumed to keep from biting my tongue off, and I'd chewed clean through it. When did that happen? It seems my mind had already started the process of repressing this entire event. Amid the feverish, fruitless dance I did across my teeny bathroom floor, it dawned on me that it had been more than a minute since my last soul-wrenching and old tantrum. "Dear Lord, is it over?" I asked, quite possibly aloud. I may have been lightheaded and delusional, but I began to imagine a non-ignominious resolution to this ordeal. I just needed to get her the hell out of here. If Andrea hadn't fled the building, vomiting in terror, then I suppose I could pull up my trousers and make a cavalier exit. As long as I could get her off premises and as far away from this post-apocalyptic commode as humanly possible, assuming that the Aristos had retreated to the hills temporarily. Maybe I could even whisk Andrea away to a candlelight dinner at Bernardo's. How impulsive. My first few steps back toward the living room were tentative, and not just because my sphincter felt raw and tattered. It was a slow approach to the moment of truth, especially when I saw a figure still planted on my sofa. I knew a new look on Andrea's face other than her mouth. The gap would constitute a miraculous victory, and when she smiled at me, the wash of relief that engulfed me was more glorious than any throes of ecstasy. I might have wished for it at the beginning of the night, and then I saw it. No, that plot twist. The decorative bowl sitting in her lap, down to just a few sugarless gummy bears. "Du hast terrible," she said to me, accompanied by a satisfied smile. A big, beaming Hansel and Gretel smile. then slightly turned down in one corner at the sound we both suddenly heard. A low rumble from deep within their GI tract. It sounded like Gefahr, the German word for danger. Her eyes shot past mine and refocused on the bathroom door just down the hall behind me. Oh my god. No way. This is sad. Oh my god. Okay, a last one just for fun. I'm just gonna look really fast. Blah 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 blah. Okay, no, that one is not as funny. Okay, let's see. I didn't even need any, but somehow I was trying to make me think I was eating them in a while. Okay, blah 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 blah. One life and 2 lemons. Oh, that's a nice one. It looks big and nice, just like my dick. Okay. The fog rolled in thickly over Innsmouth. In spite of all the warnings, I had to come. That sounds dirty. Flying across the country to Boston, then a train to Arkham and a bus to Innsmouth in the search of eldritch yet toothsome delicacies. Whatever. A short respite in the hallowed library of Miss Catonic, the university had provided the vague yet traceable contact to fulfill my quest. Now out of the fog emerged a short figure wrapped in a pea coat. His gait was more a hop than a shuffle, but a little of both. Soft slubbering sound emerged from under a stained nor'wester as he approached. I caught a glimpse of shiny plastic clutch in one claw-like hand. In a voice full of glottal clicks and sibilant hisses, he made his offer. "Wouldst to partake of the treat of the elder gods?" Confused and stunned by his appearance and voice, I could not refuse. With trembling hands, I took the forbidden package from his squamous grip. What the fuck are all these words? I never heard them before. I shuddered at the contact of the cold touch, repellent and gill-edged. With a hiss and something muttered that sounded like Cthulhu Ganong. My voice hurts. He vanished into the roiling ishtik redolent mist. I thrust the package into my coat pocket, marveling at what appeared to be almost 5 pounds of forbidden delights. I returned quickly to my quarters, secured after departing the bus, assured by the driver that Whaley B&B offered for the best accommodations on short notice. Dogs were barking as I climbed the oddly canted porch and rapped on the door with the octopoidal knocker. I don't know how you say it. The door was answered by the dark, goatish-looking proprietor, and with a muttered greeting, I hurried past him and up the narrow staircase to my room. Securing the door behind me, I fumbled in my coat pocket and withdrew the package. Brightly colored shapes screamed off the crackling plastic. An obscene little shapes writhed beneath the garish words reading Arribo, sugar-free gummy bears. With shaking hands, I tore open the package, spinning the little bright bits of jellied horror under the belt quilt. My voice fucking hurts. Unable to help myself, I scooped up several strangely yielding shapes between my eager lips. A blast of fruity flatulence exploded in my mouth, portending future release. I stumbled to the small washroom and I stripped off my coat and asked. What? Hold on, let me find that again. I am sure I read that. An hat. Tossing them on the floor, hastily I washed my hands of the squalid transaction and returned to the bed. Handful after handful of the eldritch and oddly colored confection I poured into my eager mouth. Oh, I did a stop for nothing. Fully off of the package I consumed before I collapsed on the bed, still gloated and lapsed into fevered dreams. Strange colors and construction of impossible and incurred singles swirled through my brain. White gibbous voice chanted warnings in noisome tongues. I woke suddenly with unutterable cries of Yang, whatever that is, Yog Sotot, ringing in my ears. Strange globes of amorphous color floated in the room, while blasphemous groans came from my mouth, clutching my distended gut. I ran to the washroom while a fetid effulgence, what the fuck is that word, trailed in my wake. Prostrating myself upon the aged porcelain, a noisome antediluvian flood emitted from my nether parts. Not to be outdone, my lips gibbered in the words of my dream as I sat in the darkness. A glow began to coalesce from beneath. Iridescent color rose in swirling globs while bursts of charnel gases and squirts of fetid liquids fed them. I swooned as the gaze and spectral vision overwhelmed me, and a mute cry was heard on distant winds, as if from the either between the stars, but ever closer. The cry of the most fearsome and loathsome of the crawlers and chaos. I, arriba of Gagan, whatever that means. Trying to find something beautiful here. If you feel like ruptured anuses, there are your beers. I purchased these as I am an avid gummy bear eater. I started off with a handful. I waited for the delicious rust of sugar-free gummy bears, to wash upon my tongue, throat, and gums. I followed that handful with another, then another. I ate two thirds? Yeah, 2/3 of the bag before realizing it was time to stop eating the succulent devil bears. It wasn't only until after lunch when the gummy fluids began to party with my Mexican lunch that the true concern began. Oh, with Mexican? That must be terrible. I was sitting at my desk looking at my B. Archer photo collection when an explosion, reminiscent of Chernobyl's, rocked my internet. Oh, I was able to mask the sound with a 3-hole punch, but not mask the death that permeated my cubicle, whatever that is. Several coworkers fainted upon receiving the colorless, silent metallic explosion. My boss asking me to go home. For the next few days, as I was packing up my Haribo sugar-free gummy bears, I felt my stomach lift off its cradle as a F5 crapnado ripped through my stomach, upper and lower GI tract. I proceeded to turn my cubicle into an hazmat scene, tearing through my trousers, and actually began to shoot partially digested sugar-free across the office from my ass. Our office manager less than us. Oh. At some point, I blew an O-ring. Once the final bear was violently expelled from my bum, I began to feel better. As soon as I find another job, I will definitely purchase these beers again. Oh my god, okay. That's enough for today. I'm sorry about that. I just found it so hilarious. I couldn't stop myself from recording it. So thank you guys. Have an excellent day. I hope at least this made a couple of you guys laugh. Have a good day.